you ever had a dream that you were in a land of honey with light pink skies and a beautiful white roses all around you, only to be suddenly shaken awake by somebody or someone telling you that you didn't belong here? Being a dreamer is like that. My name is Itzel Uriostegui, and today I'd like you to take a moment to put yourself in the shoes of the dreamer. I'd like you to accompany them for a brief moment. I too am a dreamer. I am a proof that all of us dreamers are eager to see this place we call home become a reality. Now, let me introduce you to DACA. And what is DACA? DACA was implemented by the Obama administration in 2012. Prevents deportation of undocumented immigrants and grants work permits to dreamers. In order to qualify for DACA, the undocumented immigrants are required to meet certain criteria. As of June 15, 2012, you had to be under 31 years old, had to become here before your 16th birthday, lived in the USA constantly from 2015 to 2007, so to present. You had to physically be present while doing your application and have not had any documentation, such as like a visa or some sort of document that would help you come here and then go back to your country. You had to be in high school or graduated or being discharged from the Coast Guard or in the military and have not been convicted of a felony or significant misdemeanor. So the process was pretty long. But there's a problem. There's a problem. Dreamers have already broken the law by entering the country illegally and remaining here without the necessary documentation. Some believe that the government upholding its own laws fairly, it's not harsh. But should the children pay for their parents' sins? Many dreamers are unfamiliar with their birth countries and struggle to understand their native language fluently. Deporting dreamers is degrading and heartless. If this happens, DACA will have negative consequences on other people and their families, including employers who have recruited DACA recipients and communities where DACA recipients are significant socioeconomic individuals. An article named "A New Threat of DACA Could Cost Billions of Dollars" by Arthur Nicole Prashal Shibalenka, who is the senior policy analyst for the immigration policy team at the Center of American Progress, stated in her article that using data from Center of American Progress publications, a report estimating the drop in GDP, which GDP is the total value created in the economy. And also Center of American Progress publications estimates the gross domestic product. So the report estimated that a report estimating the drop in GDP will be with removing unauthorized workers from the country, and a survey estimating that the share of DACA recipients who are employed, they estimate that ending DACA would result in a 460.3 billion loss to the national GDP over the next decade. I'll repeat this again. Why should the children pay for the parents' sins? Maybe there's a valid reason why they brought their children here. Maybe to protect them. Because of this, they escape instability, violence in their own country before being persuaded to join gangs to seek job opportunities. For this same reason, poverty and violations in their own nation led their parents to immigrate to this country. Many disagree because they they must compete with job-hungry illegal immigrants, lowering the salary and working conditions provided to legal residents. Additionally, studies show that undocumented immigrants are filling jobs that few Americans are interested in rather than replacing native-born Americans. This was found by the New American Economy. This was also an article named Undocumented Immigrants by authors Robert Lynch and Patrick Oakforth. Robert is a senior fellow and Patrick Oakforth a senior policy analyst. The consequence is that losing DACA would be devastating for families across the country with profound consequences for practically every community in the US. So here's an example. As you guys can see, there's a few occupations, and it also shares of the workers and undocumented, and also gives you the number of undocumented workers who are doing all these occupations. As I was saying, DACA recipients have a special place in their communities. The majority are there in their 30s or will be soon. They own homes, have creative businesses, and are raising their children and growing their families here. Importantly, many DACA recipients have US citizen children and partners. Valuable employees will be laid off and their hard work will be ultimately wasted. Many argue that DACA encouraged more illegal immigration and contributed to an increase in the number of young people without parents and families seeking to enter the US illegally. But analysis by FWD.us, also known as Forward Us, which is a liberal immigration reform support group based in the US, makes apparent that serious harm that would result to the American economy and to millions of families if DACA terminated or DACA renewals would be prohibited. Enforcing a rule that allows DACA recipients to gain citizenship will help them advance academically while also benefiting our entire country economically. I firmly believe that DACA recipients should be subject to the same naturalization requirements if amnesty is granted to them. There's seven Republican leading states are trying to sue to stop DACA, arguing that the updated program was unlawfully given and referred to as the executive overreach. So there's a lot of that going on at the moment. They haven't really made a decision yet. They want to, but not into 2024. But to this, to them it's not a dream, it's more like a nightmare. And that's okay. This is why our dreamers are here to demonstrate that we are all dreamers. With that being said, what I'm applying is that we have a petition for DACA to gain citizenship, and how I would like you guys to help me is to call the Congress now. And there's this number, the 202-224-3121. So Congress will need to pass a legislation to make it possible for us to live legally here in the United States. Finally, dreamers. I know dreamers illegally cross the border and illegally remain without proper documentation, but deportation would be devastating. Therefore, putting into action a petition that provides them with the long-term security and the opportunity to achieve their full potential. It not only allows them to advance professionally, but it also allows them to continue to contribute to the community in which they live. I would like to leave you with a message and a quote from a former President Barack Obama. Let's honor the dreamers and everything they've done to strengthen our country. Let's treat them like the Americans that they are, and let's do everything we can to help build a common immigration system that honors our heritage as a nation of laws and a nation of immigrants.